the Libra videos. So those of you on YouTube are going to be watching the reading live, and you guys are going to be watching the whole thing. And those of you on TikTok, you guys are only going to have about 10 minutes, maybe a little less. So let's get started. The first thing that pops up is the Scorpion energy here. And so while I was shuffling these decks to see what the underlying energy was, there was the energy of the lizard. Now, lizard is about instinctual energies, sensitive to the subtle and the dreamer. And when this energy is out of balance, as I've seen in the reverse, then it could be elusive, non-committal, and flaky. The general idea you got going on is a project of some kind. And this project is going to require zest, it's going to require zeal, it's going to require the energies that basically tell you you have to do it. Like, if anybody's going to do it, then you got to put your all into it. And if you don't decide to put your all into it, then why even bother? Like, almost, you know? So it says that there has to be a merry approach to this project or whatever you have going on, Libra. And this project requires some type of connection to the universe. This connection, it has to be born out of your happiness. And the one thing that I get from it is the fact that there was the Ace of Swords and the Seven of Hearts that came up. And while I was looking at the numbers of the Ace and the Seven, it was revealing to me that you need to move forward on something that you love. And whatever it is that you love is among one of those seven things in the Ace of Cups. I mean, in the Seven of Cups. So when I started shuffling these cards, the Scorpion came up down at the bottom. I asked, so what is the importance of that with the Scorpion energy? Well, it's passionate, it's competitive, and it tends towards the isolation. Now, oddly enough, right at the bottom of the Rider Waite was the Ten of Wands in the reverse and the Five of Wands in the reverse. So this could be considered a competition. As you can see, they are they're playing around, but they're testing their mettle basically. And here you can see that in the Ten of Wands, he's carrying quite a load, but he's almost home. So I feel like there's this energy that needs to be healed around competitiveness, maybe feeling like you have to be competitive. And because the Six of Wands is here, regardless of whatever it is that you think about whatever may be going on in your vicinity, it doesn't really matter because victory is assured to you. And so long as you're a courageous person or spirit, you will stand up for yourself. So that's technically where you're coming from. I want to go ahead and shuffle the cards and go ahead and lay them out to find out what the mindset is. Just overall energies. Okay, so something around a transformation of some kind. It's a transformative process that we all go through when we start to find out what to do in a passionate way that helps not just us, but everybody else in return. So a transformation is upon you. Right now, ground yourself. That's one of the things that I'm hearing. And also balance yourself. So the necessary need for balance a lot of the times could be emotional, but when I get the 1 and the 3 here, it's the necessity to really tap into your creative spirit, and that is the spirit of source, the connection that it's asking you for. And it's also asking you to be happy, or rather, to learn how to create your happiness apart from your feelings, apart from the feelings that you may get around a certain situation. Because in the end, you will harvest whatever it is that you are looking to harvest. It just needs its time to get there. You know what? I will go ahead and do at least one more of these. I was figuring that this formation would have been the best one. And so in your feelings, really do try to tap into that energy of the sun, the energy of happiness. And on the physical plane, realize that the universe is working in your favor. Trust your intuition. One of the biggest things that you can do in order to live a life that is not stress-free, but you can understand the workings behind it. Ooh, good thing I swept and mopped, right? Okay, so thought space. Think about, don't just sit on the situation, don't just sit on the thought of wanting to, collaborate with other people and, thinking that maybe you have to balance yourself in some type of way in order to make that happen. No. Technically, what's needed in this situation is active participation, engagement with others, engagement with people of like mind, engagement with people who are actually going to lead you to victory. Putting an end to the people that actually don't. Alright, Libra? Pay attention to that. And then, of course, the Seven of Swords in the reverse. In the physical space, it's talking about really take a look at the strategy that you're using right now. Is it working? And if it isn't, then you need to find a choice that actually works. A choice that actually fits with you. And so just because the fact that that card is at the top, it's essentially telling you what is necessary is a decision of some kind around some type of something that would make you happy. But I think you have to realize what it is that will make you happy is actually taking action on something, not just having those ideals in your mind. So I wake up with strength in my heart and clarity in my mind. Clarity of the mind will actually help your consciousness. And it would actually help you with feeling. So I'll go ahead and put that in the middle there. I am in charge of how I feel, and today I am choosing happiness. See? So it is pointing to something about having to choose happiness and having to choose it for yourself as opposed to allowing other people to choose it. And so between your physical and your consciousness, I don't sweat the small stuff. Ooh, that's a good one to have there. So let me go ahead and draw one more. Okay, so the centering energy is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords energy is a very thoughtful energy. It's a very intellectual energy. It's almost like the sevens. And what you need to figure out, Libra, is what it is that you want to start as a project. Figure out how you feel about it. And if you feel passionate and zealous for it, then go ahead and get it started. The general notion is that whenever you feel that energy and you wish to get it going, then there really isn't any other option than to, make the positive choice. Understand that the positive choice that you're making is one that's going to lead you to a certain state of happiness. And then from there, you have the ability to balance your emotions, you have the ability to make fruitful partnerships and things of that nature. So hopefully that came out as a positive message for you, Libra. So see you on TikTok. Alright. So my followers on YouTube, you guys will actually get a little bit better of a reading on this. That was just to get people coming over here. Now, what I'm drawing, if I go from the Soulless card to the Knight of Swords to the Butterfly and then to the Two of Swords, this energy here very much feels like the necessity to understand that you do have a transformation going on, but this transformation, it's been a difficult one, hasn't it? Sweating the small stuff, it seems like there was a lot of that, you know, so the things that you might have considered were big, but really were small in comparison, I suppose. And between the consciousness and the feelings, I feel like a lot of the times you would not wake up with strength in your heart, and you wouldn't wake up with clarity of the mind. Your mind would still be boggled down, and now you're tired because you were thinking about whatever it was all night, and you couldn't really, I guess, come to a fruitful decision as to how you could create, the happiness that you're looking to create, right? And then between the feeling space and the physical space, there seemed to have been some type of trouble with being in charge of how you feel and actually choosing happiness. So there's that, and that energy alone could keep you from a transformation, right? Let's go to the cards, to the book over here. The butterfly is about undergoing great change and transformation. And so when that energy is in balance, it's cheerful, it's graceful. And, when you think about cheerful and graceful energies, doesn't it feel cheerful whenever you see a butterfly? Now, when it's out of balance, it's fragile and it's frustrated. Now, when you're frustrated, yes, you could lose your connection to source. Most of the time, it's best to use that frustration to actually connect back to source. There is the general idea, though, that, if your Scorpion energy gets knocked off of kilter and isn't responding in the proper manner, right? Then what ends up happening is that there's jealous, resentful, and unresolved energies that tend to fester. Now, honesty and forgiveness in that sense would be the best way to fix that energy. This energy has a lot to do with your career, so whatever this project is, I feel like it's connected to your career somehow, or it will be the go-to blocks in the beginning that are there to set you apart from other people, so that they understand, hey, you know what, you got these skills and you have these talents. And I think that is one way that this could manifest into really understanding like where you're headed, Libra. I think this may be speaking about the Libras, between the ages of 24 and like 27, and maybe even up to 30, between 20s and 30s, but most importantly between the ages of 24 and 27. Yeah. Really be intellectual with yourself to find out whether you are being what's the energy I could use? Really resisting some type of change. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so between the thoughts and the feelings, the best advice I could give is, when you wake up with a certain sense of pep in your step, if that makes any sense. And when it comes to your consciousness and your body and the connection between that, Don't sweat the small stuff, obviously. But if problems seem to pop up in your existence, you know, be ready to face them head on. I feel like that's going to be the best course of action in that scenario. Between your body and your feelings, right? Because a lot of the times your feelings influence whatever it is that you're going to do. You know, be in charge of how you feel your happiness. Don't let others run your happiness based on how they feel, right? Remember, this is a how you feel thing, and the way that you feel has to do a lot with how you wake up. So there's that. I'm gonna go ahead and draw some cards for advice. Go ahead and keep these cards here, and I'll just shuffle the Rider-Waite just to see what the advice is over these three aspects. What is it that we are dressing up? Or what exactly are we organizing in our minds for the sign of Libra? Okay, so letting go of something. I feel like letting go of that competitive spirit, not necessarily the competitive spirit that allows you to properly compete, but I think it's letting go of the necessary need for thinking you need some type of competition of some kind. We all feel that competition would help us move forward, but a lot of the times the competition that we have with ourselves can be just enough. And even then, because this life isn't about competition, it's about, well, learning is the base, but learning is actually, there's a sub-base to that, and it actually has to do with experience. So realize what things in your experience you have to let go in order to balance your salad, right? In order to dress your salad properly. What things do you need to take out of your salad before you lay down the condiments, right? 2, lack of confidence, lack of energy, lack of, brave action, intent, motivation, ambition. Really watch for those times, Libra, because I feel like sometimes there's a call for you to fire yourself up in order to welcome a new change. And a lot of the times, you feel it, sometimes you won't. But those times that you don't, pay active attention to that. Because I don't realize that you think it's an opportunity for change, but it is. Now, when we talk about the Page of Pentacles energies in the reverse, it's almost like you're throwing away a handed opportunity. And notice that they're both looking at each other. So when it comes to the feeling space and the actual physical space, there will be a necessity for you to understand just how this energy plays a role in your transformations and allowing for the energy of the universe to actually run through it properly. Because I feel like it has, but it hasn't been to your liking. It hasn't been to your expectations, etc., etc. Yeah. So the advice is don't be bullheaded with the energies. Don't be stubborn in preventing the necessary transformation from happening to lead you to the King of Pentacles by being stubborn and thinking that certain changes are supposed to happen the way that you expect them. Or perhaps, if it deals with this project, thinking that it has to go the way that you had envisioned it because that's the way that you had envisioned it. if that makes even, any better sense. I don't know if I worded that correctly, but all right, let's see. And what would be our one defining affirmation? I put my energy into things that matter to me. Yep, that's perfect. So hopefully this gets through in the proper manner. Some of you Libras might be moving. The Knight of Wands is there. Trust your intuition as to how that proceeds. Yeah, find a passionate thing that you can do, that you do well, that people say you should get paid for doing, and then understand how to rapidly move forward with that by employing your intuition plus your zeal and your ambition and zest and your intellectual capacities, and then use that to fire up your courage and your passion whenever those opportunities take place. I am adventurous. I overcome fears by following my dreams. Yep. And with this lizard energy that I had seen, really is talking about the dream or a creative project or being artistic, telepathic, and spiritual. So the lizard is an expert in the realm of sensory perception, and as if it had a sixth sense, the lizard hears what is yet to be spoken and sees what is yet to manifest. Although this is an amazing gift, it can easily wear the lizard down. Big crowds, lots of travel, or overstimulation will drain the lizard of their magical essence. This card is an indication to pull back from the bright lights and big city and return to the inner artist who's been whispering your name. So, with that, I will go ahead and actually, you know what? Let's see what energies you're supposed to encompass. Planetary energies. Okay, the energy of Scorpio. Good. And that energy is usually the Scorpion energy that's there, so that's a positive aspect. The general idea behind that is pay attention to details and also pay attention to your own self-care. Alright? Let's see. The planet energies. Be careful about going back to things that maybe you cared for or that mattered to you in the past, and don't go back to those things that actually didn't matter to you. The general idea here is understand what to love and how to love it, and then put your energy into that, right? And number is 8. The number 8 is showing me that there is some type of work having to be done with understanding when opportunities are placed in your path and when to take, I want to say advantage of them, but understand how to work them in your favor. The 4 is basically telling me this energy here, what you put your energy into, and that are the things that matter to you. You know, understand that your self-care comes first, and then everything else thereafter. And as long as you can do this, what ends up happening is that you have changes take place in your vicinity that allow for more of that to take place. So with that being said, thank you for being here, Libra. I hope that you can encompass this adventurous spirit, overcoming your fears by following your dreams, connecting to your intuition to understand how to fully do that, and allowing for you to shine bright and shine through and understand that the universe is working in your favor to make all these things happen. And so thank you for being here, Libra, and I will see you on another day. Ciao.